Hey, welcome to more random thoughts in random places. Now, again, this is a heart to heart. Again, it will help you understand why I do this channel. One of the main reasons is for help with self healing, because you are like a family to me, the closest I will ever get. And I feel not just sometimes, I feel that I can share that with you guys without there being any reprisals. But one of the things that is difficult to have heart to hearts is because I still might be being watched, you see, by interfering busybodies who just are on standby just to see if there's anything that they can meddle with, anything that they can toxify or cause trouble with. Because what I find with people is when you heal, and to do that you speak truth, they attack you. They don't like it. They don't want to hear it, but they have no issues doing it. So how can hearing about atrocities done to someone be worse than actually doing them to people? That's what I've had to fight. And so I've had to be very, very, very careful in how I say things, because there is still so many people who are emotionally selfish and who want to cause trouble for a person who's already been through enough hell. That is what I know about human beings. They rarely ever want to come into your world to look for a solution, but they'll be on standby to see if they can wreck. And yet all you're trying to do is make sense of why you're here. And so the heart to heart is, for all of those of you who were adopted, regardless of the family. So let's just go with a really loving family. You got lucky, okay? You've got a really loving family, and everything that they're doing is in aid to make you a healthy person, mentally, physically, and, you know, to help you through all the traumas that you've been through, because adoption is a trauma. There's no two buts about it, okay? You're not living with the people that gave birth to you. Now, whether these people were monsters, incapable, neglectful, whatever, you're still going to be split apart from those people, and you will be the one left to have to make sense of it all. Now, with some adopted families, they're not interested in trying to get to the bottom of that. They just want to more shower you with the life that they've got for you, and they expect you to just drop your curiosity for where you come from and just go with them. That's because they don't understand, bless their hearts. They don't understand. You can't ever replace that. You understand? You can't. You're doing a good job, but you are just the contingency plan. And, you know, it's not meant to be in a rude manner or anything like that. But the fact is the people that you're brought up with, you are not them, and they are not you. And it's okay to be raised with their morals and what have you, whatever they're doing in their family, their beliefs and stuff, but you are still going to be you, and you will need to find out your predisposition. You will need to find out what's truly your gifts and your talents and your attributes, because yes, you're getting it from them, but that's not the actual real you, if you know what I mean. That's just maybe you've gone to live with a family and you've picked up some other great things and skills and stuff, but they're not actually from within you. And that's what you've got to go on that adventure and find. And I think it's a wonderful thing, because what society's telling us, this small group of us people that are adopted compared to how many people there are in the world, you're being told that, listen, the lower vibrations don't want to know you. Cool. So the higher vibration sees you and it goes, oi, come over here. I've got something for you. You're just going to have a backbone, and you're going to have to be really, really brave. But I've got an adventure for you that will top all adventures. Off you go. Off you go. Take it. Because you need to find yourself. You have to do self-discovery, because the people that you grew up with, you are not them. You are not them. And don't try to just play that part, because you won't find any inner happiness. You have to find out who the true you is. Regardless of whether you can get any information about your real family, whether you can do any investigations to find out where they are. The fact is, you were abandoned. And now that means they have set you on a completely different journey. They have left you. And as much as they might think, oh, we're doing the right thing by you, they have still left you in an ordeal which they can never comprehend. It's a risk they take by doing that to you, but some will do it. Okay, there are people, parents in the most horrendous situations, and the thought of giving up their child doesn't even enter their head. Whatever we do, we'll do it together. But there are a few people in this world that do not have the capacity to have that empathy. They do not have the capacity to think beyond themselves. They have only got emotional intellect for themselves, if they can even call it intellect. They're just having self-pity for themselves. They can feel it all for themselves, but they wouldn't have a clue and even know how to start feeling how you felt. Totally emotionally selfish. And so either way, my darlings, the journey is there to be done. And so all I can say is do it, because mate, you find out some of the most amazing things about human beings, but you also understand the dark side of them as well. And there can be nobody telling you nothing. When you do the investigations of the underbelly of what it means to be human, you'll understand. And so for me personally, my heart to heart with you is I will go into certain things so you can understand more of why I do this channel, but I also have to be very careful, because the things that were done to me are so atrocious that the people that did it aren't ready to live with that fact yet, you see. So they disregard me. And as I can imagine, you have been disregarded, because they simply don't want to know. And that's why you, the sin, has to be punished. But it's the sinner that should take the punishment. They've created you as the sin and then dashed you away so they don't have to watch or look or be reminded of their own selfish behavior. And I would say, out of all of it, I'd rather be in my position than theirs, because I don't think I could live with myself at all. And there it is. So you learn things about yourself. What I learned from being with my foster family is how much I was different to them, and how much my foster mother tried to mold me in to a version of her. And if that didn't suit her, then she was going to exaggerate all sorts of cruelty. And it was a very painful time in my life. I wished to grow up so fast so I could escape them. And that's not a way to live, because what it effectively does is takes you out of the frying pan into the fire. And then from that moment onwards, it's just downhill. And what it is with adopted people is that we have to go and rebuild our lives. We have to rebuild. And a lot of us are seen as objects. And the majority of us aren't adopted because we're loved. It's those people trying to prove something to themselves, trying to look good in front of their town or their neighbours. Oh, look at us, the perfect family. Look, we're going to set this dysfunctional kid. We're going to make them better. And half of them don't even know what to do, because you're literally talking about children with complex traumas, and you haven't studied in any of that. So you're not well equipped. Okay, these people, sometimes they're not well equipped, and it's just, you've got to ask the question why they are looking to adopt you, because some people aren't doing it for you. And that's a sad fact. A lot of kids are being adopted for a lot of atrocious reasons. In my generation, I'm consider myself extremely lucky. If I'd have been born any other time after the 70s, wow, I'd probably be in some child sex ring. I would have been abused already. Not that that didn't already happen to me, but it would have been a lot worse. So my loves, for anyone that's adopted or anyone that can relate to this, even if you're not adopted, you're just an outcast of your family, and you're not allowed to speak the truth because they'll all gang up on you. Here's where you can speak that truth, and I'll stand up for you. I'll stand up for you. I won't allow them to come and tear you down, because all you're doing is keeping yourself to yourself and trying to do your best to heal, because they couldn't give a toss. So my darlings, on that note, you just stay tough, you stay strong, and you do what you know you need to do. But on that note, my loves, have a wonderful day, and as always, Jah love.